Welcome back to My Drunk Answers, a show where I get drunk in front of the camera and answer your guys' questions that you've sent me throughout the week. This week we have a special guest on the show, my sister, Cynthia Austin. She's temporarily in this area. She just got out of the Navy and decided that she wanted to be on the show after seeing last week's episode with my brother, link above. So we were actually able to get her on the show because we were able to catch her in one of those few times that she's actually around here, and that was actually at a party at my Aunt Crystal's house. And my Aunt Crystal's house's parties get kind of crazy. So if you hear things like this, or like this, just know that people are having a great time in the downstairs below us, so you might hear some weird things in the background. Please enjoy this episode of My Drunk Answers. Welcome back to My Drunk Answers. This is my sister Cynthia Austin. She came back from the Navy recently, and we are at a party right now. Thank everybody for putting in these questions. I asked earlier today, and a lot of you guys came out and just answered. So we're gonna get into this proper here in a second, but first let's drink.
Let's drink.
Blake Haynes asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you? I'm gonna ask this question again at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think that's best.
I think a 1.7.
Yeah, maybe like less than a 2, I'd say.
Yeah, not there yet.
Whew, that's a hardcore real shot here. I'm not 20 anymore, guys. Maybe make mine smaller. Wait a second. Oh, that's not good. I don't like that.
Bit shots it is from now on.
Bit shots.
All right, so this is a more sibling-specific question. What is the closest you guys ever got to killing one another?
We didn't get along very well as children.
I think the closest we ever got to killing one another was, I remember specifically we were driving home from school, and the previous night I'd actually told my parents that she was smoking and I had found her cigarettes. And so I told her that I told my parents because I was feeling really high and mighty. Also, the stakes were low. I was very close to my house at this point. And she smacked me and then threw me out of the car. But I was like half a mile away from
I only remember throwing you out of the car when you farted too much. Farting to piss me off. And he laughed just like that every time he did it. And it's just like this evil 6th grader in my car. And I'm just like, I'm gonna murder
To be
you.
fair, I don't know any good 6th graders.
No, that's true. They were all little shits.
Brandon asks, would you rather spend 30 minutes every day on a coffee date with Nicolas Cage or Donald Trump?
Originally, I said Cage.
Okay.
But now that I think about it, I think it'd be a beautiful opportunity to spend 30 minutes a day with the president. I'm not gonna say I would use it as like a tutoring session and like charge him or anything, but like you have an opportunity to be with the president every day. And as much as I really don't like, well, at least anything he's ever said publicly, we could have a lovely coffee date where I taught him things about politics.
I'm gonna go on the opposite side of the fence here. I think Nicolas Cage is a national treasure.
Of course you do.
Also, I don't think the coffee date would last a whole 30 minutes. I think he would be
buy
gone.
You a coffee and leave. Gone in 60
yes,
seconds.
I think he would be gone in 60 seconds.
I'm just gonna name Nicolas Cage films the rest of the time.
Yes, and he would ride away on his motorcycle, but you wouldn't see him on that motorcycle.
Ghost Rider.
God damn it. Fuck it.
Family, let's go.
Get another shot going
Oh,
here.
definitely.
Yes.
Shot time.
Oh.
Make mine smaller.
Is that small enough for you?
Yeah, that's great.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I'm 30. I don't drink like this anymore.
We just texted Samuel, a.k.a.
Butt biscuits.
My dancing biscuits.
Yes, your butt biscuits, yes. And he's gonna be coming up here for the rest of these questions. Samuel is my brother. He was in last week's episode. Link somewhere up here.
Woo! Butt biscuits.
You should butt biscuits. Hey. Okay, so we had some sibling-specific questions that we're gonna ask. Victoria Backle asks, who's your parents' favorite and why?
Oh God.
I actually read this wrong. I read this as, who's your favorite parent and why?
Who's your parents'
How often do you read these drunk?
I'm definitely gonna say Sam.
Sam, 100%.
Has always been the golden child.
Can I have a...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead and answer.
So I was definitely the golden child during the younger years, but since Cynthia's joined the military, no.
Am I now the golden baby?
I think-
Because I have a
You're the prodigal
quote,
child.
real job. I think that Sam is still the golden child. And here's
Right,
why.
no, definitely.
Here's why. Okay, so like every time I did literally anything wrong growing up, it was, you're done. Go out there and figure out how the world works so we can teach you this life lesson or whatever. This mofo can do whatever he wants. You don't pay rent, has a 100-pound dog, and doesn't clean up after himself or the dog, and gets to live there. That would never have flown with me.
Next question, please. The next question being, which is actually from my wife.
All right, yeah.
She asks, who is the most successful and who is the least and why?
According to...
I'm going to say Cynthia is the most successful because she's actually seen shit and been outside of the U.S.
One that figured out how to live for free, do whatever he wants. It's like, he just conned the world right now.
Did Sam
I think Sam wins.
Did Sam win the best child, the favorite child, and winning the successfulness here?
Look and think about it. He can buy whatever he wants because he has no rent.
That's why I save and I pay for college out of pocket.
I'm sorry, who came to visit me because of his savings last year? That wasn't you.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You're salty about that.
Blake Haynes asks,
Again?
Oh, God.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this question. I'm going to go with more closer to a 5. Earlier we answered this.
I'd say 4.7.
Yeah, closer to a 5.
Well, I think we can definitely hear downstairs the party is calling us as well. So I think that is going to be where we end this episode, and let's just go ahead and cheer.
Yeah, who do you think is most successful?
I mean, it's probably not me.
I'd love to hear
there
the
we
comments.
go.
I love to hear the comments. No starving artist is the most successful. At least not according to Mom.
What I really want to sing.